Alright, it's Titanfall 2's first DLC drop, Angel City Most Wanted, plus a giant patch, so let's get right into it. For those that are dumb enough to actually pre-order games in 2016, you can get access to the brand new map, Angel City, which is actually only brand new if you own a PS4, since it's a map lifted from the first game without any alteration. I guess how the mantra goes now is that if you reskin the map, you could throw it into a paid DLC pack, Call of Duty, but if you don't alter it at all, you could use it as an excuse to make a DLC. I would have preferred a map that wasn't so old that it was also part of the original Titanfall alpha test, but hey, free means beggars can't be choosers or some shit. Anyways, if you didn't pre-order the game, the map will be available on Saturday, December 3rd, and at that time, the map will be put into rotation for all the other game modes. In a hilarious display of irony, since not everyone will have the map today, Respawn will put in an Angel City 24/7 Mosh Pit playlist, which they'll keep around if there's enough interest. Wasn't their idea of free DLC to not segregate the community? Anyways, Respawn released a trailer for the new map on its Titanfall YouTube channel yesterday, and it'll be interesting to see how the grapple works in this game, which wasn't originally designed for it, but like most maps that return from a prior game where there's significant design changes, it'll probably work like shit. In the trailer, we also see the return of the B3 Wingman pistol, which is a high-caliber revolver capable of one-shotting, or at least that's what the footage leads me to believe. A new map and a new gun, just like a Billy Mays commercial, but wait, there's more. There's also going to be a new perk for each Titan kit for you to choose when picking your Titan. Ion allows your splitter rifle to be fired 5 ways like a gangbang. Scorch's flame core can leave a fire worse than the ones in Tennessee on the ground. North Star can have enemies highlighted when zooming in. Ronin can phase out when doomed to run away like a Monty Python skit. Tone can have the ability to 3 burst instead of single burst for those that have a large ejaculation problem. And Legion's power shot can have 2 charges instead of 1. Put that shit on the grill. Lastly, in the free shit category is a new pilot execution shown here, which is the pilot's chest cavity exploding and the heart comes right out of the body. Basically how I felt after eating on Thanksgiving, so perfect timing. Now, since Titanfall 2 is published by EA, we can't have all good shit for free, so there are going to be paid cosmetic items, of which Respawn throws some shade at other shooters by saying, quote, "We will have no in-game currency exchange, no locked loot boxes, crafting shards, or pay-to-win weaponry. No RNG. If you see something you like, you buy it, and that's it," end quote. It's kind of pathetic that I'm even applauding this, but that's what the gaming industry has come to. Anyway, speaking of executions, there are 2 new Prime Titans of Ion and Scorch, which have cosmetic differences, but also have new executions, including this one of Ion throwing up on the Titan after binge drinking too much the night before Thanksgiving, and Scorch doing his best Donkey Kong impression to pound the ground. In addition to these Prime Titans, there are other skins, camos, calling cards, and various bibbidi bops for sale in the store, of which really don't matter to the gameplay, so have fun playing dress up. In addition to all of this cool new shit, they're also dropping a patch, so let's go over the fixes here. In terms of pilot changes, there are lots of weapon buffs, including to the Horribad, Spitfire, and L-Star LMGs, of which the latter was like shooting a laser pointer, only lethal on a quarterback size or if the enemy is a cat. Additionally, there are buffs to the Flatline AR, the R97 SMG, and the Double Take Sniper, so that maybe now they'll actually be able to inflict more damage than a passive-aggressive post-it note, and an increase in the crisp smooth, splash, damage of the EPG and Thunderbolt explosive weapons. Unfortunately, one of my favorite weapons, the Volt SMG, got a nerf, but it definitely probably needed one. They also made the melee hit detection more reliable, which doesn't address my beef regarding the one-hit melee from front, but hopefully I won't be lunged at like a certain perk in a certain sequel of a certain game that a certain developer, which also happens to be the current developer, put in their game. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Also with pilots, in order to facilitate people not playing like giant pussies, even though there's more mobility in this game than almost any other current shooter, Cloak got a nerf to its visibility and will also be disabled once a pilot fires a weapon. You know, like every other FPS game that implements an invisibility ability. Try saying that 5 times fast. Invisibility ability, invisibility ability. On to Titans now, as Tone and Legion got nerfs in the last update, but they're still being used more than a car at Crazy Johnny's, so additional tweaks to Tone isn't all that surprising. However, it also seems that they buffed other Titans, including Ronin's phase abilities now counter Tone's lock-ons, North Star's flight core and hover got a movement increase, Scorch got an adjustment to the tempered plating perk, and a bug fix for the firewall protection. Lastly on Titans, the Overcore perk will now give 30% of the Titan meter instead of 20%, because people still weren't even getting their core abilities because Titans are probably now made in China with cheap steel and are being doomed so quickly. On to game mode changes, Bounty Hunt's point system has been tweaked to give out less for a boss Titan, but more for Stalkers and Reapers, those pesky little shits that could take down Titans because of aforementioned reasons. Also, the second wave is now more impactful on the game overall instead of that age-old adage of scoring first matters the most, and And AI will be able to take half your bounty if you're a total shitter and get killed by a grunt. You should probably actually just get kicked from the game at that point. Also in bounty hunt and attrition, farming AI now gives you less towards your core meter, so go kill some actual players for fuck's sakes. Other random tidbits from the patch include adding an FOV slider to console and bumping up the max to 110 from 90, so you can almost see the entirety of Honey Boo Boo's mom in one shot, a new setting to adjust both ADS and hipfire sensitivity separately for those that can actually aim at others that spray wildly like an unattended garden hose, and adjusted the spawn points across various maps and game modes, unlike other FPS devs that only use spawn fixes one at a time. Respawn also indicated that they're going to be doing game mode twists and things like double XP weekends in order to lure players onto the frontier. And just in that same vein, finally in Titanfall 2 news, starting today on Origin for PC and EA Access for Xbox One, there is a free trial of the game. Well, it's not actually free since Origin or EA Access is $5 a month, but you get the drift. The free trial will also start on Friday, December 2nd for all platforms and end sometime on Sunday, December 4th for those that don't follow my advice or got too triggered to listen to the Titanfall 2 is better than Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare video. This way you can actually try the game out for free before you inevitably love it and give EA more of your money, or perhaps if you're a greedy little shit, we'll wait till Christmas to have your parents buy it for you. Oh, that reminds me. Christmas noobs and trial noobs. Fucking right, doggy.